months, but we figured it out. Our OD was allergic to coconut. The doctors told us that it was a particularly rare allergen, and so it wasn't on any of the skin test panels they ran. When we found out what she was allergic to, we were so relieved. So relieved. But in addition to feeling relieved, I delved into a bout of hysterical laughter. I laughed so hard I cried, and to this day, my DH tells me that he didn't know if I was crying from relief or pure happiness. Okay, so like I said, this story is very long, but to summarize it, the baby has an allergic reaction to coconut oil, and now we're being introduced to the mother, right? The mother of the woman. And this
I thought it was gonna be something like the mother-in-law was
allergy serious,
like using bleach on the kid or some shit.
Like, what's gonna happen? So let's skip to where the grandmother is taking care of the baby. My mother had put coconut oil in both my daughter's hairs when they were playing the previous day before bed. The girls loved it when my mom did their hair, and so they asked for braids, and my mom was doing their hair. She put coconut oil in both their hair because it would make for smoother braids. According to my son, OD started to get a little dizzy and itchy when my mom was doing her hair, so my mom gave her some kids Benadryl, which made her sleepy. Since it was close to bedtime anyways, the kids went to bed. Giving her Benadryl was something we did whenever she had a mild reaction, since it usually meant she accidentally came across some coconut from a secondary source. We also showered her head to toe immediately to erase any lingering traces of it. My mother simply gave her some Benadryl and kept the coconut oil in her hair and put her to fucking sleep. The Benadryl made her sleepy and unable to wake up or be conscious enough to wake up her brother or cry. She vomited in her sleep and the rash spread all over. Her little body was swollen to twice the size.
That was sad.
She had asphyxiated in her sleep. She died painfully and slowly in the early hours of the morning. My mother was never arrested. My father did leave her, though they're not officially divorced. The majority of my mother's family refused to speak to her, and the few that do speak to her only do so on a limited basis. She currently lives on her own in a small town, and every couple months I'll get a call from her telling me how sorry she is and how she just wasn't thinking, and can I please find a way to forgive her. She wants to come see me. The only thing I can find to ever say to her is, you can come see me when you bring my daughter with you. If you guys want to go read it on your own, it's a lot longer than what I just said, and I know what I said.
Man, that's probably one of the most intense ones on that subreddit.
Horrible. That sucks.
The rest is probably like my mother-in-law baked a dry turkey.
That's what ignorance does, man. Let's move on.
Jesus Christ.
R/jailbait. The Urban Dictionary
definition that was a big one back in the day.
A female who is under the age of consent.
That shit was
dresses,
fucked.
acts, and appears as if she is over the age of consent, and who does nothing to correct that impression when she is bedded. Yeah, when I read that, I was like, whoa, what kind of victim blaming, dude? Why are you getting mad at them? Like, nah, I don't want to get off track, but it's just weird when guys are like, yo, you shouldn't dress like that. Too young. It's not even your life. Just fucking move on. Go on Reddit. Actually, that's what they were doing. It was just a place where creeps would talk about underage girls. At the time, Eric Martin,
they used it the front page almost every week.
Subreddits, including jailbait, by claiming that it was one of the side effects of promoting free expression on the web. Reddit administrators took down the subreddit after a user shared a picture of an underage teenager, saying that he had nude photos of her as well. And many users were requesting, send me. Yeah, it's just pretty disgusting stuff.
Yeah, he's underselling how popular that was. Back when I first found Reddit, I would have been, a junior in high school? Jailbait was usually on the front page. That was a massive fucking subreddit. What year would that have been? 2011-ish? It was fucking crazy. Yeah, and that was for some reason on Reddit, that was totally normal. And I remember someone made a big hoopla. I don't remember, it might have been our atheism, to be honest, because that was also huge then. Someone made a huge hoopla, why the fuck are we just allowing open pedophiles on the site, super transparent? And they're like, no, jailbait's fine. Jailbait's good for Reddit, actually. And it was a huge controversy when people were like, we need to get jailbait the fuck out of here. But they fought tooth and nail. That was on there for a long time. A really long time. Much longer than you'd expect.
Spontaneous H. This is
That's
the story
Twitter now.
Of a Redditor who documented
okay, I guess.
Injecting heroin. I'll read the main posts. I did heroin yesterday. I am not a drug user and have never done anything besides pot back when I was a teen. Ask me anything. This is a little long. I've never been a drug user. I drink once in a while and smoked pot years ago back when I was a teen in high school a few times, and that's it. I'm 24 now, have a master's, and a well-paid
this one's
full-time
fake.
job. Yesterday, I was
usually the
walking
personal
Washington
stories
Square
are
Park, where I pass every day, and there are always people looking to sell drugs. Not in the park anymore due to the cameras, but it is well known you can meet a dealer and do the transaction elsewhere these days. They usually don't solicit drugs to you unless you stop to stand around near one of them for some reason or look like you're looking for something. Yesterday, I happened to stop by a row of benches to check some messages on my phone when a dealer on the bench to my right asked me if I need anything. My life has been pretty boring the last few years, and I felt like I haven't really lived, taken any risks, or done anything crazy. So I figured, what the hell? Maybe I'll buy some pot. It's been a while. I said yeah, and after asking me several times if I'm a cop, he gives me his number and tells me to meet him at a fast food place several blocks away, and he will, quote, hook me up.
Sleep
I was
well,
blown away by
man.
the power of this drug and how orgasmic it felt. I never understood why people did drugs before and got so hooked on them, but now I see why. I have the urge to do it again, but I will resist and not do it, at least not for a long time. I understand the addiction potential and how someone could easily tear apart their lives with this stuff. Heroin is pure powdered pleasure. I actually feel proud of myself for having the balls to do something this crazy, and I feel like it was a valuable life experience and my window into another world and part of society. I'll never forget the day I did heroin. Now, ask me anything. 2 weeks ago, I tried heroin once for fun and made an AMA. I have been using since and shot up for the first time today.
No.
AMA, Wednesday night update. Fucking, I'm still withdrawing, throwing up, and sweating out gallons of sweat. I really want to use and relapse right now. I know I shouldn't. These urges are so strong and overpowering.
No shot,
Please
these are
help
real.
me if you
Nah,
can
I
before
usually
get
don't
chance
believe
to.
the
Fuck my life.
personal
I wish I was
ones.
trolling and this was some elaborate lie. I was doing everything right, have been clean, and somehow a rumor got out that I've been using, and my girlfriend found out. She basically broke up with me last night, but is now putting that decision on hold. I have some serious unrelated business/work I need to attend to in 2 hours, and I don't know if I'll be in any state to be able to be ready. I can't stop crying. Fuck heroin. Fuck my life. I guess I don't need to say that since heroin pretty much fucked my life for me in under 2 weeks. I just want to die. I am a patient in a psychiatric hospital. I was also technically dead last week. Ask me anything. Well, you guys will be
Thanks
happy
for
to
some
know
Twista.
that this person is actually still alive. Even though this all happened about 12 years ago, this user actually came back 4 months ago with an update. It's been a while. This is not an AMA or anything exciting, really. I saw a disturbing and sad post about an opiate overdose on
Easy tier
Public
1
Freakout
slang.
and was reminded to try to
Is it
log
totally
in
fake?
and check
Yeah,
this. I guess
probably.
it's been over 3 years since I checked this or posted anything. I find this Reddit account pretty overwhelming. I'm just posting to let people know that I'm still alive, clean, and doing well. Thanks to everyone who reached out in messages checking in over the past few years, and sorry if I can't get back to you. Here's another comment with more details where he responded to another user. It has been coming up on almost 11 years since I have used heroin, any hard
Thanks,
drugs,
Recep
or
Knifin.
alcohol. That was November 2010. A few years ago, I had a slip and just smoked weed, which is a bad mistake, so I consider my current total clean time 3 years since I count that. Nice. We actually had a happy ending to this one. Love that. Love that he's still okay and doing just fine. It's kind of crazy to just be like, hey yo, let me just shoot up some heroin. Fuck
Is it
it.
tier 1
My life
gifted?
kind of boring. Oh, should I document my experience doing that? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Yeah. Yeah, no. Alright guys, that's going to be it for this video. Don't click off yet. Don't click off yet.
I knew
wanna
almost
say
all of
something. In
those.
the community tab, when I was telling you guys to leave requests for
Nice.
video ideas, right? Or like Reddit ideas for this one. People were saying that I
He didn't
just,
even
like,
cover
steal
True
video
Cells, which
idea
is
topics,
surprising.
and I just cover them in a mediocre way, which
Do you guys remember True Cells? That was a little bit before the big incel explosion. There's the Prime Grant. Wow, most people don't seem to remember it. True Cells was basically they were the progenitor to modern incels. They had a lot of very sad dudes that would post shit like women should be kept on farms and men should be allowed to buy women to fuck them. Like really horrible stuff, like incel shit before it became mainstream. That one was pretty wild. They had like full websites full of like hundreds of pages where people would like write some real gross shit and their weird view on the world. Thanks to resub Asa. Pre or post Elliot Rogers? Fuck, I'd have to really think. I'm not sure. I think it was post because I vaguely remember that one of the websites had Elliot Rogers like their poster child. So I'm thinking it was post Elliot Rogers. Yeah, it was fucked. I think it's the voice crack, the resub Shoof and Cypher. I feel like there were some other ones that weren't covered, but I can't think of them off the top of my head. True Cells is just one that I always remembered. Pre or post Elliot Rogers? Fuck, I'd have to really think. I'm not sure. I think it was post because I vaguely remember that one of the websites had Elliot Rogers like their poster child. So I'm thinking it was post Elliot Rogers. Yeah, it was fucked. I think it's the voice crack, the resub Shoof and Cypher. I feel like there were some other ones that weren't covered, but I can't think of them off the top of my head. True Cells is just one that I always remembered.